Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Today we're going to take a look at the perk Quick Hands. At maximum rank, it gives you an 18% chance to instantly reload when your clip is empty. Now for this test, I'll be using a anti-armor single action revolver, which single action revolvers do have a fairly slow reload. And I'll be using an anti-armor lever action rifle, and they have a fairly slow reload as well because they also have the mechanic of loading one round at a time. Just want to see how this works. Now, typically I have Bloody Mess under luck, so I took that off in order to put in Quick Hands, so I'll be doing a little bit less damage, but hopefully I'll be able to fire longer because the clips will reload automatically. Although I suppose with these weapons, they're not technically clips, but you know what I mean. Now, the biggest issue for me with these, or with this particular perk, is I have a habit of reloading basically anytime I'm not in combat. So that is something a habit I'll have to break in order to test this perk effectively. Now, I'm not really concerned with how much damage I'm doing or how tanky the enemies are. It's mostly just about... Okay, so that didn't trigger that time. Now 18% is what, 1 out of like 5.5 times. So obviously it's not going to happen all the time. But the times it does, and it definitely helps things if I'm not one-shotting. Okay, so that's 2 reloads so far, and it hasn't triggered yet. But both times I've been out of combat, so it actually hasn't made a difference. I mean, I would think the biggest benefit from this one would be, oh, there's one up there, would be, can I not shoot through that? I guess I can't. The biggest benefit is if you're actually in combat. So obviously, oh, there's a holiday one, or yeah, holiday one. Now the biggest benefit for this would be obviously when you're in combat, where reloading would be inconvenient, like right now. So that would have been a good time to have it trigger. But so far, we are 0 for 3. Although the holiday scorch, they're out and about. Oh, and there it triggers. And of course, he fell away. Oh, there he is. Alright, but so far this hasn't proved terribly useful yet. Oh, there we go. Another, that was good timing on that one for sure. The legendaries are out in force today, it seems like. And there we have a reload, but it's not an inconvenient time, so that's alright. Alright, so let's, alright. And again, it didn't trigger, but, oh yeah, I am in combat, so... Oh, a lot of them here. And as you can see, for a gun like this, the reload is very long relative to what it would be with just, you know, swapping clips in and out. And it did not trigger. Although the legendary ones, they are out in force today. All right, time to switch up the weapons and try it with the lever action rifle. I don't expect things to be any different, but okay. Well, that was a interesting. It wanted to reload when it was down to 1 round. Yeah, see, this would have been a perfect time for Quick Hands, although normally I'd be sneaking with this weapon. But this weapon reloads much quicker than the single action, so it's less of an issue. Which means I don't know... Okay, there we go, it triggered. So that was nice. So with this one, it's not that big of a deal if it doesn't trigger. But that also means it's probably less necessary as well. Oh, there it triggered. That's kind of nice. I can keep on shooting. So I decided to test it on this weapon, Pirate Punch, which is just a black powder pistol. So it's a single shot, and I don't know if this perk will actually work on single shot weapons. So let's see. I'll have to shoot it enough to, you know, give it enough chance, since it reloads after every single shot. But definitely having this thing reload itself automatically would be super convenient. So far, no love. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if the perk just doesn't work for single shot weapons. I mean, so far, it's, I don't know how many shots that is. What is that, 6 or so that we've done? And an auto reload hasn't triggered. I figure if I can go all the way through Morgantown, just killing all the ghouls, and it doesn't trigger, that would be pretty much confirmation that it doesn't work with these kinds of weapons. Now, obviously, that's something I could have just asked a data miner, and they would be able to tell me right away, but what fun is that? This way I get attacked by ghouls. Yeah, it's still not triggering at all. Yeah, my plan is basically just to go up past Morgantown High School. I figure that is enough of a sample size to let me know if the perk will actually work with this gun. And that is the last of the ghouls, and it did not trigger one time. So I would say this perk does not work with single-shot weapons. And I think that will conclude the test for now. The perk for me just seems like the usefulness is fairly limited. I mean, something like the lever action rifle, it actually reloads fairly quickly, so that's not much of an issue if it doesn't have the automatic reload there. The single action revolver has such a slow reload that it would be nice if it triggered a bit more often. I think 18% is just kind of too low for that. I think I'd rather have the extra damage because even when it was triggering, often it would be at the end of combat. So, you know, at that point, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think the chances of it actually triggering when it's going to be helpful, probably, you know, they're not 18%. They're actually less than that, just because of the times it triggers and it's not that helpful. So, and something like the black powder weapon, that'd be great. I mean, honestly, 18% with the black powder would be helpful, but since it has to reload every single time you shoot, but it doesn't seem to work at all on that particular type of weapon. So, and there are some heavy guns that reload pretty slowly where it might be helpful, except they have large ammo sizes. So on heavy guns, I don't see the usefulness there because you're just not reloading all that often. So I would say overall, it's an interesting perk, but I just don't think it triggers high enough, at least for me. I'd be curious to see what their experience has been with it, because I know I've seen it recommended, especially when I've tested guns that have that kind of reload, you know, the slower reload. So yeah, but for me, I just don't think this perk quite works. But yeah, let me know what you think. I hope you found this video entertaining or useful or both. If you did, please hit one of the buttons. And I hope you join me in the next one. Thank you very much.